Game of Life training.
Hi, and welcome everybody. My name is David Spiegel with Game of Life training for the game of life. It's the stuff they didn't teach you in school. So, what I'd like to talk today about is courage and uh, how that you can become more courageous. And of course, I talk about words. So, how you use your words is going to be part of how you become more courageous. But um, the thing is today, what we've got going on in the world is a bunch of people that know that things should be better, but they're not courageous enough to stand up and say something or to turn their back on what is being said and not just listen and go along to get along kind of thing. Because we're being led into, everybody's seen what's on over the last 5 years, 6 years in your face, in your face, in your face. Everybody's seen that. So it really opened my eyes. And the thing is, it's like this. It's not your fault if you don't have courage these days because it's not been taught. Like they do not want you to be courageous. They want you to be complacent. They want you to go along. They want you to just do what you're told. And that's it. That's, been your training your whole life. That's it. In school, they train you to do what you're told. And after school, college, university, they tell you to do what you're told. And then at the job, they tell you to do what you're told, or they, teach you all that. So courage is not something that's really taught. And if you weren't fortunate enough to have somebody who taught you courage in your life, i.e., father figure, uncle, something to that effect, you're you're probably more, there's definitely less people that have been taught courage. So if you don't have courage and you would like more courage, the simple of it is that you have to kind of put yourself into situations like to give yourself more courage. So what you would do is you would just do something that makes you a little uncomfortable. I feel like I'm courageous when it's righteous. And I also feel like, I'm not stupid, so I'm not going to just stick around to be courageous. You know what I mean? But when it counts, and that's like, during the COVID thing when the masks were happening, um nobody stood up and nobody had the courage to not wear a mask, even though that they knew that they shouldn't wear a mask, or at least, you know, months into it, a year into it, it was pretty obvious, wear 3 masks. In the very beginning, it was masks don't matter, they don't affect, they're not. Then it was 6 feet, distance. I mean, do you forget these things? Because I do not. And I did not wear a mask, which was very uncomfortable because everybody was wearing a mask. I got kicked out of restaurants. I got looked at like I had third head at the store. Um, Kind of wherever I went. Um, yeah, but that was courage, right? Because it wasn't comfortable, but I knew better. So what I did was I did what I knew to do. It felt like kind of a responsibility, but it wasn't easy to do. Okay. So you put yourself in situations that will make you grow, that are a little uncomfortable. So start really small, like, make a phone call that you haven't wanted to make, or contact somebody that you haven't wanted to contact, or, um, tell somebody how you feel, but try to do it with love. I mean, these are little things that you could do. Um, It's really just though, what is it for you? And then whatever your problem is, whatever your setback is, and here I want to go back to this because in school and in movies right now, if you watch movies, movies tell you that the woman is in charge so much. I mean, the woman's the hero. The guy is a little beta male, coward, really is a coward, but they're representing men like that. So, of course, what you see is what you emulate. You know, who you hang out with is who you become, but the TV is who you're hanging out with. So you're becoming all of that stuff that they're wanting you to become. They show that stuff on purpose. They say the things that they say on purpose. They influence your mind in a movie to normalize things. The police are supposed to uphold peace. They're supposed to prevent crime. Crime is just loss, injury, or harm. That's all. That's all crime is. If you commit a crime, it means that you're causing loss, injury, or harm, I guess. Or somebody said if you don't pay back a debt, so that's a crime too. But that would be called loss to me. So I think loss, injury, and harm covers the gamut with that. Um, so on TV, they show that, oh, you better listen to the police or this is gonna happen. Oh, you better just comply. You better just follow along or you're going to get hemmed up. But instead, really what we have to learn is I am a man under God with only the authority of God over me, so long as I'm not committing a crime, causing loss, injury, or harm. Okay? That's important. And courage is important. It's hugely important, and you can learn it. And part of it is you say this, okay? You say, I'm becoming more courageous every day. That's how you learn courage because opportunities will present themselves to you for you to be courageous, and then you just act on those. And they could be small little opportunities that you didn't notice before, but you'll notice them now because you're becoming more courageous every day. Get it? So you always start with your words. And everything that you're doing, start with your words. Say what you want as if it's already done. That's end game goal. Okay. And if you can't believe it, just say I'm getting better at or I'm becoming better at. But the reason I wanted to talk about courage today is because it's so important that people realize it and that they utilize it. They build it within themselves, within their community, within other people, you know, it's a chain reaction. You become more courageous and then somebody else does. And ultimately, the idea is this, look, there's so many, you know, 2,000 people probably that are completely narrating exactly what we're experiencing in the world. And they're building the narrative and they're doing the narrative. But there's like 8 billion people. So all we have to do is kindly disregard the stuff that we know is nonsense and get back to what our roots are, which is to be, men and women honorable. I mean, they've taught dishonor. It's crazy. I mean, it's in music, it's on TV. They laugh about divorces. They make it sound so, like it's just every day. They do that on purpose. And then people laugh about it. I mean, this is psychology, guys. This is just watching the TV and in movies, everything is by design. Everything. And it's psychological, it's controlling, it tells you exactly how to perceive and interpret the world and the way things are and the way things are. It's telling you how things are rather than how we want them to be. And then if we're focused on how they are, we're not focused on the solution of how we want them to be, right? So when we start focusing on how we want things to be and we develop courage within ourselves to make those changes, it's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. You've been taught this stuff. It's not your fault. But if you do know better, then you can do better. So you start with your words. I'm becoming more courageous every day. And then if you have think of this right now, okay? Think of you have a situation that you're afraid of right now or that is uncomfortable for you. Imagine approaching that situation and, you know, doing whatever you need to do or you should do in that moment. And then feel strong while you're doing that. See that and feel like courageous, what it would be like to be that courageous. That's how you build courage. And then real world example and also, practicing inside your head. Your imagination is the most powerful tool that they never taught you about. Okay. I can tell you that much right now. If anybody ever sees this, it's good, valuable information. And I think somebody will see this. I just don't know when and to what capacity, but I'm doing it because I'm supposed to. I just feel like I am. I'm here. I'm showing up and I'm learning more about how to navigate and have, well, just again, the courage to go online regardless of my preparation level because the message is good. I still want to get the message out. You know what I mean? It helps to have people believe in you too. So if you are becoming more courageous, maybe you don't go and tell people that because some people will be like, "Oh, you're just a big wimp. You're a big, sissy." And you don't need to hear that. Okay? So you just say that quietly to yourself, "I'm becoming more courageous every day." All right? And I'm going to be coming out with some really cool I am statements on YouTube. There'll be videos that you can look at. They'll be formatted for particular like little niches. Um, so anyway, I'm excited about that, but I'm not going to go into it right now. I'll let you guys know more later. As always, thanks for watching. Share this out. Subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. Um, and yeah, let's do this thing together. Hashtag it takes all of us. Make it your best day ever.